What's up, everybody? Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new live stream covering the core/PCE price index data. I'm going to do a live recap of that, or just a live commentary on that. We'll watch it together live, which is always great fun, as most of you know. And then maybe afterwards we'll talk about the markets, and before that maybe we'll talk about the markets as well. This is the wrong chart I have in front of me, so let me fix that real quick. Like this. Let me see. Fix this. Yeah, that's a better chart. That's Bitcoin. The other one was equities. How's everyone doing today, guys? Good afternoon. Stan Drew, welcome. Daniel, good to see you back here. Let me quickly tell everybody that we are live. James, welcome back to the stream. It's always great to have you. Andras, welcome. It's been a week, everybody. It's been a week full of volatility. It started very bearish, and honestly, I was laying in my bed and I was thinking of everything happening in the world, and I thought, oh no, how is it ever going to be all right again? And then all of a sudden, Thursday afternoon, it seems like we have a deal surrounding Greenland. I don't know anything about the deal, right? My connections in Davos haven't yet told me, but it seems like everything is all right again. That's how quickly the world can change right now. And I think most of you have also been. I think most of you have also been experiencing that roller coaster, if you care at least. I mean, if you don't care, better. Okay, it's much better to not care about anything that's going on. I think that's a little bit better. I think that's a little bit easier if you're living in the UAE or Dubai or Indonesia or Australia, rather than me living in Europe. But still, it's definitely it's definitely possible still to not care, even when you're living in the United States and Europe. And again, I think that's the better way. Okay, I think that's much better if you compare it to being very invested in everything that's happening. I think I have to be slightly invested in everything that's happening. I need to know what's going on, but still. Okay, I wanted to send everywhere that we're live. So let me do that real quick, and then we'll start this live stream. The data is coming out in about 6 minutes, I think. 6 minutes. So I'll make sure to send you all the link so that you'll be able to watch that yourself as well. Obviously, I'll show it in the live stream as well, but that's always a little bit delayed, of course. So that's why it's good to watch it yourself as well. Then you know earlier, especially if you want to trade this. I would not necessarily advise you to trade data like this, especially not when the market conditions are still quite volatile and quite tricky. But it's something that can be done, of course. Okay, it's sent everywhere. Everyone should know that we're live right now. So let's get back to the markets. Is everything all right regarding the audio, and the webcam should be all right now as well? Regarding the audio, the video quality, is everything good? Is everyone doing great? Nick, welcome to the stream. Bert, welcome. Marjuxia, welcome to the stream. Alejandro, welcome. Arahman, welcome to the stream. Brendan, user, Legions. Click, welcome to the stream. What's up, everybody? It's good to have you all back here. We have people slowly tuning into the stream, so welcome, everybody. I hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week so far. For those of you just clicking the link, hoping for some fun, there's going to be absolutely no fun in this live stream. We will talk about only serious things. And that serious thing that will be covered in this video is going to be the PCE price index and the core PCE price index, okay? Which we are getting in a little bit over 4 minutes. I have sent the link to the website we're looking at right now in the chat. So you can keep a tab open for that as well. Then you'll be able to receive the data when I get it, right? I mean, this live stream, there's a little bit of a delay, 15 minutes or 15 seconds or 30 seconds. So be aware of that. So yeah, Mr. Breibroek is also in the stream again. How are you doing, man? Life is short. Welcome to the stream. Let me see. Yeah, we're pushing down slightly here. Zcash is still quite strong. That's good to see. Bitcoin Cash quite strong, Layer 0 quite strong. Bitcoin pushing down. I mean, Bitcoin is pushing down, but ultimately, I mean, does it matter that much? In my opinion, no. We're still holding critical supports. Like I said this morning, the critical support for Bitcoin, also after the news, is this level right here between 89,100 and 88,300. It is quite evident, though, as you can see right here, that Bitcoin over the course of today is quite strong. And what I mean with that is obviously not that Bitcoin specifically is quite strong. I mean, Bitcoin specifically is actually not that strong, but it's stronger than altcoins, right? You can see that altcoins are actually suffering much, much more now that the US markets have opened. As you can see right here, US markets opened higher, briefly also rallied up higher, but now are pushing down. Potential gap fill, right? I mean, equities pushing down obviously causes bearish pressure in all markets, also the crypto markets. But it's not necessarily bad. And at this point of time, the volatility index is also still incredibly low. So if we're looking at all the fundamentals, I mean, I cannot be extremely bearish. And like I said, as long as Bitcoin is holding that level between 89,100 and 88,300, I think we're fine. Nadir, welcome to the stream. We don't have the news yet. We have the news coming out in a little bit over 2 minutes. As I have explained earlier today, talking about this news, we are going to get core PCE price index and PCE price index data. This is basically inflation rate data that especially the Federal Reserve cares a lot about. So what do we want to see? Do we want to see higher than expected inflation, or do we want to see lower than expected inflation? Most of you already know that, but what is going to enable more rate cuts? It's obviously lower than expected inflation rate data. Earlier today, we got some data surrounding the United States GDP. As you can see, it was a little bit higher than expected. That's bullish. The initial jobless claims data was a little bit lower than expected. That's bearish. So bundled together, I think that did not really matter. So that also means that this inflation rate data is going to matter even more. I mean, I have to say, the GDP growth rate Q on Q being 4.4% and inflation rate being lower than expected would be amazing, but that's what we'll have to see. That's what we're going to see, right? Is the data actually going to be lower than expected? Yes or no? It's going to cause volatility, like pretty major volatility either way. I actually do have a limit order set up. I have a trade quite close to hitting. At this point of time, it's not live yet, but it's very close to being live. So if you see me dozing off a little bit, looking at that trade or looking at to my other monitor here to the left, that's it. Okay, so bear with me. We have data coming out in 50 seconds. As I said, I also sent the link. Lucas, welcome to the stream. Bodhi, welcome to the stream. Sven, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Sky we can cover. I looked at Sky earlier today. I think it's at resistance right now. Bodhi, I'm not necessarily trading this, but there's a setup I just like, and I don't think the news is going to change or is going to affect the setup too much. It could, right? I mean, it's definitely a risk I'm taking, but I'm not trading the news. I mean, I'm just trading. I have a setup in mind, and I think that setup is still valid regardless of the news outcome. It's going to be bullish, if it's going to be bearish, who knows? But we have a countdown coming up: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are slowly going to see the data coming in right here. I will not take a look at the charts. I do have a chart to my left though. I'm not sure if it's very quick. We're going to slowly see the news coming in right here. It's quite late. I can see the markets are slowly pushing down, so that is interesting to say the least. We don't have the data yet. I mean, you can see right here. Do we actually have the order flow data as well? It almost feels like my internet is crashing or something. I can't see the data yet. Oh, there we go. We have some data. Core PCE price index month on month is as expected. PCE price index month on month is as expected. Slowly but surely. I mean, the most important data is the PCE price index and the core PCE price index. And we haven't yet gotten those. So it's waiting for that. But ultimately right now the markets are actually not doing too bad. Here you can see the order flow. You can see a ton of longs coming in right here that initially seem to be trapped. A bit of passive selling going on right now. But can we please get the data we're waiting for or not? Okay. Yeah, it seems to be as expected. Core PCE price index 2.7, expected 2.7. Personal income 0.1, expected 0.4. Core PCE price index month on month, expected 0.2, actual 0.2. PCE price index year on year expected 2.7, still waiting for that. PCE price index month on month expected 0.2, actual 0.2, and personal spending expected 0.5, actually 0.5. Core PCE price index expected 2.8, actual data 2.8. Is this also? Yeah, this is still some older data as well. Oh, it's all older data. I thought we would actually have some data surrounding December as well, but it's all older data. Still matters though, but a little bit less, honestly. So yeah, so far, I mean, all the data is as expected. So honestly, I don't expect too much of a result because of this, or too much of a result. I don't expect too much of a change surrounding this. There's also not a ton of volume coming in right here, as you can see. This is all the volume. I mean, we have about $127 million of volume in the last 2 minutes. That's quite a lot of money, of course, but it's not necessarily directional. So it seems to me, at this point of time, that this news is not going to change anything, which is great that I started live streaming for this, because honestly I would have liked to see some better data, but that's just the way it is. And this, in combination with the GDP data that we had earlier today, it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's older data, right? So it's the data from back when the U.S. government wasn't shut down, October and November. That still does matter though. It matters a little bit less than actual data or fresher data, but still does matter. And it's fully as expected, right? And ultimately the market prices in what the expectation is. So if there's no change regarding what we already expected, I mean, obviously the market is not going to react. At this point of time, Bitcoin is still looking fine. There's not much going on right now that makes me say, okay, we need to be careful for that. Like I said, equities opened higher. They're still filling that gap. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens when we actually do fill that gap. Let's take a look at some headlines in a moment. Let me see if anybody has some questions. Yeah, it's the same. Meta, I don't know. I saw some bullish momentum for Meta earlier today, but no idea what's going on. But the situation for now for Bitcoin is actually not bad. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let me first see if we actually have some headlines coming out, and then we'll do some requests. So if anybody has some requests about what we can cover, then or what you want to see, then let me know. I won't be able to cover everything, and I will probably also not see everything, but still. Rick Reader is searching in the Fed chair prediction markets, potentially bullish. If he is going to be picked, I mean, he is one of the most dovish potential Fed chair, so that would actually be great. Japan exports fall. Zelensky says something. Yeah, nothing major. No major headlines, I think. Yeah, no, I mean, at this point of time, I mean, Bitcoin is looking quite stable. It's this news is not really going to change anything, because the news, for everybody tuning in a little bit later, it's fully as expected, right? So it's fully as expected. So this news is not going to do anything. Maybe it is slightly bullish because it obviously removes the fear, or it removes the possibility of bad news. That happens sometimes. But I don't think the news is major enough for that to happen. So news fully as expected. Personal income month to month for October was lower than expected, but who cares? That's not major. It's classified as high impact, but ultimately that standalone does not matter. So the current situation for Bitcoin, even though today has been slightly quiet and then slightly bearish, of course, over the course of the last couple of hours, I think we have to remain bullish. Like I said, the S&P 500 opened higher, rallied a bit higher, is now filling the gap, but ultimately it's trading at the same levels as where it was early January and Wednesday last week. Back then the markets were strong. Equities are sitting quite comfortably there, so we have to assume the markets are strong because of that as well. Volatility index crashed over the course of yesterday into today. And yeah, I mean, it's moving up now, but ultimately it's at the same levels as where it was in the middle of December. So again, there's no major unrest. Gold is rallying, but gold is rallying for a ton of different reasons, not only unrest. So no, I mean, the fundamentals right now surrounding the markets, as long as we don't get any bad news, which I'm not expecting, but obviously that can come. But these fundamentals are good enough to remain relatively bullish here. I think I think the price action here for Bitcoin also still looks bullish, as long as we're holding this level here at 89,100 and 88,300. I mean, the fundamentals are good enough. They're not amazing, but they're good enough. The technicals, same thing. They're not amazing, but they're good enough. So as that stands, as long as we're holding that, I think you can be relatively bullish. I just think that zodiac sign. I just think that it's good to still be cautious, right? I mean, I think everything is looking more bullish than bearish here on the lower time frames, right? I think if you really zoom out on Bitcoin, it starts to look bearish again. But ultimately, on the lower time frames, looks good. But it is it's still good to remain relatively cautious, especially given the fact that most altcoins at this point of time are underperforming Bitcoin. Okay, let's do a little bit of requests. That's the news. Like I said, news is as expected. I don't expect a market reaction because of that. Let's do a couple of requests. And yeah, what's my zodiac sign? Guess. What do you think my zodiac sign is? I'm interested to hear. Okay, first of all, Sky. Someone requested Sky. Let me grab your attention real quick. I think Sky is one of the cryptos, if you're trading or if you want to invest, this is one of the coins you have to have on your watch list. It's incredibly uncorrelated to Bitcoin, which makes it very interesting to trade. And it's an amazing project. They do buybacks, they provide real utility, they have some amazing development. Definitely follow this. It's gaining momentum, it's trying to break out. I mean, honestly, the volume is a little bit low. So that's why I would say, wait for a clearer breakout. But ultimately, we do have potential here to break out. I mean, I would say this is one of the most relevant levels. We failed to break out above that before. If we're able to hold this level right here at 0.066, I think we have potential to actually rally into 7.5 in the previous post-listing highs again for Sky. So definitely worth it to keep your eyes on. I would say short term, the level at 6.6 is most important to hold. Drop down below that and we're back into the range. No, I'm not a Scorpio. A little bit earlier. I'm also not a Leo. But Bodhi the man, listen, I cannot begin to tell you how important they are. Okay, give me your zodiac sign and I can tell you everything you need to know about yourself. Okay. Also not an Aquarius. Aquarius, Leo, why these Scorpio? They're all much more interesting zodiac signs than mine. My zodiac sign is incredibly boring. Also not a Taurus. It's incredibly boring. However, it is the best one out there. Okay, it's the best one to beat. Okay. Sui. While people keep guessing, let's take a quick look at Sui right here. So Sui, generally, I'm not too happy with it. I think, look, we had balance down here. We had balance right here. We have found support at the point of control. So that is relatively optimistic. Like we need to hold that. But now the most important level is very clearly 1.62. As long as we're trading below 1.62, I think you have to be bearish, break out above that. That's an opportunity. Then we can rally again. Alternatively, most important support we have is 1.44. 1.44 is the point of control. It happens more often that we have a range like this. We break out because we have broken out of that range and that then we retest the point of control, but we must hold the point of control when retesting that previous range to still have a shot at actually creating a bullish structure. So if we lose 1.44, it's over. If we are trading below 1.62, I wouldn't touch it. I think Sui at this point of time is not an amazing crypto to focus on. Raika, you're right on the money. It's Virgo, of course. Virgin. Yes. Oh, fun. But okay, let's do a couple more. Getting a lot of requests there. I mean, guys, we cannot do everything. Canton Network, James, is very interesting. It's a little bit manipulated though, so I'm not sure, and I don't have an active analysis on this. That looks pretty good. I mean, we had this flush right here into some gaps we created. Canton Network seems pretty good. I would say the key area to keep your eyes on right here is the value area high at 16 cents. Break above that, and there's a possibility for an extension. Anything else? Like the best buy would have been here at 11 cents when we were testing those gaps. Outside of that, I would say breakout above 16 cents. If it's a real breakout, I would say, okay, that has potential. Outside of that, I would, otherwise I would say like 8 cents. But that seems unlikely to happen, so that's not something I would wait around for. Zebek, I'm just picking some coins random, everybody. I mean, my apologies, but honestly, I've seen a lot of requests coming in. My time is a little bit limited. I still have to make my market update video, of course, as well. Zebek, I mean, it has been quite strong at the start of January, but it's still consolidating. I mean, there's no, in terms of volume, in terms of momentum, I don't see anything interesting enough surrounding Zebek right now. The main area to break is 0.34 cents. So potentially play some price alerts there. That's what I would say. But this is a structure I would avoid, especially given the fact that there are plenty of coins right now that actually look a little bit more interesting, such as Mina. Okay, this is the coin I also have some limit orders on set up. But Zebek, look, I think it has potential, and if you know its history, I do think it will rally again. Like it's not a bad coin, certainly not. But it's just at this point of time, relative to the markets, I wouldn't say it's very interesting. Yeah, Raika, Virgo, I wouldn't call it boring either, but maybe my girlfriend would. So, or at least she told me about it. Chainlink. Chainlink. This is not looking amazing. Chainlink, it's consolidating. It's at the bottom of the consolidation range right here. Strong trend line down here. I would say Chainlink doesn't look bad, but Chainlink doesn't look bad as long as the fundamentals hold up. And the fundamentals at this point of time, like I said earlier in the live stream, are obviously pretty decent, but it's not a bet I would make again. I mean, it's like market circumstances like these. I mean, obviously we're having fun, right? We're having fun. We just got news. There's plenty to trade, honestly, but there are very good market circumstances, and there are market circumstances that you want to avoid trading most coins. And I think these market conditions, these market circumstances are actually conditions that you want to avoid most altcoins. Okay, so an altcoin needs to have dropped down a lot into a massive support level, such as hype. Okay, I think hype is actually getting, even though it's incredibly bearish, as you can see, I think it's actually getting towards levels where I would say, okay, but the product is good. It has already fallen 50%. We're getting some strong technical support levels. It gets interesting. Focus on those altcoins, or focus on altcoins that actually have momentum, right? So some coins that have momentum are sentient. Someone was talking about sentient in the chat as well. That's a coin where I would say, okay, that's actually quite interesting. There's a lot of volume. There's some potential there. Elsa, that's a new launch. The Solana mobile coin, SKR. I think there's potential everywhere. Okay, all of those coins have potential, but you have to focus on those. You have to focus on the coins that either are near high time frame, high confluence, strong key areas where you think that, okay, fundamentally it's a good project I want to buy, or it has to be a coin that just has a lot of momentum, or you have to be trading the majors. Okay, I think Solana, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, on the lower time frames, they're still incredibly tradable as well, in my experience at least, and I think for most of you as well. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah, Adrian, CC cup and handle. It looks a little bit like that. It's not bad. Yeah, AV creations. That's true, but honestly, good TA and good analysis also involves the fundamentals. Okay, so if you know the fundamentals are tense, if you know that headlines can distort the markets, just take that into consideration with your position setup, or take that into consideration with your risk management. And long term, trust me, it will not matter. Okay. Look, I started trading Forex in the times of Brexit, and I traded mostly GBP pairs. Crazy work, I know. And back then, everything that happened surrounding Brexit would make the market move a ton, right? But that makes you realize news and headlines will always distort the market. You just have to find some sort of a regimen or a strategy that allows you to still capitalize on the imbalances and inefficiencies of the markets, while also, while taking that into account, basically. Strath, MicroStrategy, and Bitmine, I would say no. MicroStrategy buy Bitcoin, Bitmine buy Ethereum. They're both trading at premiums, and I have no idea why they're trading at premiums. I don't think they're worth it. Ethereum, look, it depends. Riot of Death, it depends on what your entry is on Ethereum. I think Ethereum still has potential to stabilize a little bit here, maybe push down into 2850. That would be nice, actually. But I don't expect a crash. I don't expect a crash for now. As long as, well, I'm going to say something that I've said too much. I think most of you will already know that. Okay, guys, we're going to end the stream. Some people are leaving, which I understand as well. We're talking about zodiac signs, but ultimately, we've spoken about the news. Quick recap: news was fully as expected, so it's a little bit neutral. We covered a couple of coins, so hopefully that was of some value to some of you. Ultimately, the news today was not bad. The fundamentals right now in the markets are also not bad, I would say. So I will be posting my middle of the day market update in, I think, about 40 minutes or so keep an eye on the channel for that. But for now, I think that's everything you need to know surrounding the markets and some personal commentary. Thank you all for being here. I'll be live again next week, so keep an eye on the channel. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin XRP videos. Usually I mention it there. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will, Bodhi, it was very sharp of you. But unfortunately, you won't be there for me to manage it, okay? And I am going to manage it very aggressively. But those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. And I will see you all in my next videos. Like I said, 45 minutes, we will have a market update online. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Take care and